Yo, yo, yo! Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Welcome sa isa na namang segment ng ating channel. Ito ang Takutan with Jonah. So, sa araw na ito, magbabasa ako ng mga Reddit horror stories. Simulan natin kaagad sa thread ng R Philippines. From Ross Jim, ito ang tama. Scary Filipino Stories. It's Friday the 13th. Umuulan and I bet most of you would love to take a break from all the political posts here in RPH. Share your most scary paranormal experience, please. So let's start with the comment of deleted. One thing that really stuck to memory was me in grade school. I was at my mother's office, bored, and I decided to sit down in front of a full body mirror and wait until it's almost time to go to school. It was around 10 o'clock in the morning. I stared at my reflection for a few minutes until my reflection stood up and left. What? I was like, WTF just happened? For a few moments. Yeah, I also would. And then I ran like hell. I went to my mother and told her about it. She laughed it off and claimed whoever it is likes to prank the living. Then suddenly, the radio suddenly went silent. It unplugged itself. Shucks. Yeah, that's like straight from a horror movie. Okay, ito naman kay Enter Bay. A few years back, dumaan kami sa zigzag road sa Atimonan, Quezon. Madilim noon at kaunti lang ang mga sasakyan. Nagbibiroan kami ng mga kasama ko sa sasakyan. Windows up at naka-AC. Turo kami dito at doon at sinasabi, ay may white lady. Pero wala naman. Siguro nakatatlong biro kami nang bigla na lang nangamoy kandilang namatay sa loob ng sasakyan. At lahat na lang kami na nahimik at hindi nakapagsalita hanggang nakababa kami ng bundok. Naka-recirculate mode naman ang aircon kaya very unlikely na may pumasok na amoy mula sa labas. Yan, biro pa more. Ito, may isa pang story si Deleted. My boyfriend Rafi and I were in Baguio together with two of our friends, Faye and Wally. We were driving along South Drive when Wally suddenly turned all the lights inside the car on. At that moment, I knew something was very wrong. My stomach churned and my heart started beating really fast. I closed my eyes and told myself, ano ba? Stop being paranoid. After giving myself a quick pep talk, I opened my eyes and immediately started crying silently when I saw the reflection of someone sitting behind my boyfriend on my side of the window. I was shaking and crying, but still, since I thought he'd be in some sort of danger, the only thing I could think of was to swap seats with him. And so I did. I wiped my tears away and inched closer towards him. Can we swap seats? I whispered. Huh? Bakit? He asked, clearly worried. But I couldn't actually tell him that something bad was going on. I feel uncomfortable with all this space. Pwede bang dyan ako sa left side near the window? And then just sit really close to me. I lied. After we switched seats, he held my hand close to him and tried my best not to look at the rearview mirror. But I couldn't help it, so I did. The woman that was sitting behind us was still there, and I've never told them this part, but she looked at me dead in the eye through the rearview mirror. I was terrified that I tightened my grip on Rafi's hand, and I started audibly breathing, like when I'm about to get a panic attack. What's going on? Faye asks. I was about to answer her, but then I realized this question is not directed at me, but to her boyfriend, Wally. He gave her nothing. Hey, what's wrong? She asked again. Finally, I look up to see him doing the sign of the cross. I didn't pray with him. I just closed my eyes and waited, telling myself, it'll be over, don't worry, she will leave. A few minutes after muttered prayers and silent cries, the air around us started to feel lighter, and thus I opened my eyes. And Wally turned the lights off. Okay, what's going on? I know something's wrong. You just don't pray out of the blue, Faye asks curiously. Wally and I cross-referenced whatever we saw and felt during the last few minutes of our hitchhiker's short stay. And until now, I never look at the rearview mirror again, unless the driver asks me something and he wants to have eye contact through the mirror. Sheesh, sabi ni Summerheim, legit, natakot ako dito, yeah. That's really scary. But that was very brave of you. The feel that you needed to protect your boyfriend Rafi, and you were brave enough na makipag-switch ng seats despite being very afraid. So that's really brave. Ito naman from Roth Jim. Meron akong experience. College days, umuwi ako sa amin. Mahilig ako sa mga last trip na bus kasi pagdating sa amin, konti na lang sakay. Papunta sa town namin, dadaan ka din sa zigzag. Sa gitna ng zigzag, may waiting shed. Huminto yung bus at may sinakay na babae. Medyo umuulan nun kaya nakapandong yung babae ng puting tela sa ulo. Nasa dulo ako ng bus nun, tapos umupo siya sa gitna. Hindi na naniningil yung konduktor pag doon sumasakay at sa ganong oras ng trip. Almost final stop ng bus nung nag-check yung konduktor ng mga sakay. Wala yung babae na sumakay sa zigzag. Tinanong niya kung may bumaba daw ba. Wala naman, nakababa kasi lahat bababa sa terminal at nasa pinto yung konduktor. Sabi ni Joseph, 31091, gaging multo di nagbayad amp. Mahal na gasolina ngayon. Sabi ni Roth Jim, ahaha, libre na ang sakay pag malapit na sa bayan tsaka pag last trip ng bus. Ito, from deleted. Ang dami mong kwento deleted, ah. Some years ago, I worked in the night shift at an office. Our office did not have its own restrooms. The restrooms in the floor were shared by all of the offices in that floor. I went out to take a bio break. I'm a guy. Picture this. From the operations room, I had to walk through a long, narrow hallway, then exit through the main door of our office, then another hallway into the restroom. Nothing was unusual until I entered the restroom. However, the lights were off, and then they all lit up by themselves upon me entering. I didn't pay two minds about it initially. I thought the lighting or the switch were faulty. So I did my business, washed my hands, looked in the mirror, and saw a man pass by behind my back. I thought probably one of those from one of the offices. But then, I kind of felt and noticed that I was still alone in the restroom. No one was in the urinals, and I was certain that I didn't hear any of the cubicles' doors opening nor closing. I exited the restroom, walked down the hallway, and then I heard a brief shout like a cry for help. A shriek. It seemed like it was coming from the restrooms. Sabi ni Otto Genfilic, our office did not have its own restrooms. Same, name drop the building please, hehe, or kahit yung street name lang. Sabi ni Deleted, it's one of those old office buildings in Ayala Avenue. Ito naman from Octo Elephants 22. Yakal Residence Hall, UP Diliman, 2004 or 2005. One of my friends sa dorm was using my desktop one night. Nakikikwarto as usual. I'm changing into my pambahay, so I opened my closet and then she laughed. Kasyang-kasya ka pala dyan, mocking my height. Ganyan din ako, mapang asal. Then she suddenly stopped laughing, looked at me weird, slammed my closet door, and went back to typing like nothing happened. I asked what that is about, and she wouldn't tell me. I insisted. But she looked scared and it made me scared too. Tinawag pa namin yung isa pa naming dormmate before niya ikwento. She told our other roommate what she saw in Kapampangan. They are from Pampanga and Tarlac, and I only understood the dead woman part. I'm from Bulacan and had friends or classmates na Kapampangan, so medyo naintindihan ko. Later on, I learned that she actually saw my image, lifeless and hanging inside the closet. We asked the Victory Fellowship girls sa dorm to help us pray. We were all holding hands in a circle in my room. They asked my friends to pray kasi she's the one who had the vision. They prayed na sana hindi siya premonition, that it's not a vision of what might happen to me in the future. Days after that, someone, not from the dorm, just someone who goes to the same church in Katipunan from Victory Fellowship, talked to one of the girls from that night. He said he had a vision about Yakal, and since he knew that she's from there, he wanted to tell her what he saw. He said that 2 nights ago, the same night the incident happened, he had a vision of a group of girls forming a circle and that there was a bright light in the middle. Then in the end, Yakal Residence Hall flashed in his mind. I can never forget that moment because years later, I would still have terrible nightmares about some woman na minsan instead of matakot, naiinis na ako kasi she keeps coming back in my dreams. Goosebumps while typing this. Why do you have to ask for a story? Why? Happy Friday the 13th. From Rothjim. Goosebumps then. Thanks for sharing. My scariest experience was back dun sa bahay namin sa Bataan. I never liked the house. Sem break so umuwi ako sa amin. Halos gabi-gabing inuman and I usually will come home at around 3 in the morning. This night was different. We only drank a few bottles and called it a night. Came home at around 10 p.m. Diretso sa room ko which is located sa semi-basement ng bahay. I dozed off as soon as I reached bed. Madaling araw nung naalimpungatan ako. Pagising ko, may glowing red light sa entrance ng room ko. My room doesn't have a door, but I placed a curtain. There was a figure standing dun sa gitna ng glowing red light. I sleep with lights off, so the whole room was glowing in red. Shucks. I was looking at it for a minute or two, then binulyawan ko, Hoy! I did that to check if I was dreaming. Well, I wasn't. As soon as masabi ko yon, yung glow unti-unting lumiliit until the whole room was covered again in darkness. That's scary. I switched on the lights sa room, nagtalukbong ng kumot, and tried to get back to sleep. My gosh. Sabi ni Alfie, grabe yung kwento mo. Haha, gumawa ka ng pelikula tungkol dyan. Yeah, para siyang, anong movie ba yon? Yung Red Room? It ata yun eh. Ito naman from OctoElephant22. Lol, it'll be like a short episode rather than a movie, unless it's a compilation of horror stories in campus dorms. I had 2 experiences done. Yan yung una. The other one was during one of my puyatan days. This is in the same dorm room. Journalism course ko, so instead of exams, we have to turn in a lot of papers and articles. Past midnight na yun and gumagawa pa ako ng paper. But I needed a power nap, so I turned on my Windows Media Player bago umidlip para mababaw lang tulog. During the nap, I felt a shift on my bed. Yung parang may tumabi sa'yo. I was trying to figure out if nananaginip ako, pero naririnig ko si Chito Miranda na kumakanta sa background, listening to OPM Bandstand. Pwede din na humalo na sa panaginip. Anyway, after a while, I felt that something na umalis sa kama, so may shift ulit na parang nawalan ako ng katabi. I could have kept my eyes closed, pero merong parang force or hindi siya voice, pero basta sa isip ko, sinasabi ko sa sarili ko na kailangan kong dumilat. So I did, and for a split second, then I saw this smiling woman near my bed pero hindi clear yung image. Para siyang yung negative sa film cameras noon. Parang inverted x-ray yung image ganon. When I managed to open my eyes again, wala na siya. And I ran to the other room. Kumatok ako sa room ng friend ko and doon nakitulog. Again, I had nightmares years after that. Kahit hanggang nung nag-work na ako. Pero wala na ngayon. Sheesh. Grabe. Habulin ka ng multo ah. Ito naman from C. Des Monsters. Di ko alam paano i-pronounce. Back in high school days, 2007, we were going to practice for a theater play. So our group that consisted of 6 people decided that we'll go to our group mates. Let's name her Anna. Private resort. Wow, yayamanin si Anna. Since she said the rooftop is huge, high up and quiet. A perfect place to practice. So we went there. Anna just woke up when we arrived. We went to the resort just beside their house. Then we are to take the stairs, but the barred gate is locked, and Anna forgot to take the keys because kakagising lang, pupungas-pungas. So she said she'll get the keys, and that's when I saw a dark kid peeking out onto the left solid rails, where you'll turn to the second set of stairs. I can't see the kid's face that much because he's too far away. Out of reflex, I went and told them, may bata oh, nakatira ba sila dito? Baka may susi siya. There's a kid. Are they living here? Maybe they have a key. While simultaneously pointing at the kid's direction. Then the kid escaped. I didn't hear footsteps of someone running or walking away. It was silent. Then my groupmates are silent. There's this long silence between all of us. So I sucked it up and said, joke lang, just kidding, to break the tension building up. They pretty much got angry because they were honestly scared of my joke, because they didn't saw what I'm pointing at, and they said that I seem so true about it. Anna got her keys. We went up. There were 3 sets of stairs. Every floor has Santo Niño in them. I didn't ask why. Deep down, I already knew why. We all practiced without any problem. Then it's just a scene between 3 of my group mates when Anna pulled me to the side and told me, I know that you're not joking. Back then, before this land got sold to my parents, this place is an apartment complex. The pool on the left side used to be a 3-story building like this, but it got caught on fire. People died because they got trapped. So whatever it is you saw, I believe you. That's the reason why we have holy figures all over this place. We never went back there again for practice. Ito naman story from Three-Eyed Ghoul. This happened in my high school. May religion teacher kami na dating seminarista nung 3rd year high school. May hiniram siyang libro sa library which costs a few thousand pesos. Shucks, ang mahal. Na nawala daw, but according to him, pinalik naman niya. Next year, natanggal siya sa faculty. Now this is where it gets creepy. Apparently, the school would not release his salary for his last month, as well as his separation fee unless he paid for the books he supposedly lost. So madalas bumabalik siya sa school and natambay malapit sa gate. The last time he visited the school was the same day he had a heart attack. He visited during the morning, but it was later known that he died earlier that day. Syempre madaming kinilabutan and rumors spread fast. Kinda ironic that my school is a Catholic school. Stories regarding my teacher's appearance was banned later on. Feels creepy remembering this. May his soul rest in peace. Oh, kawawa naman siya. Sabi ni Ross Jim, what's the book about? Something about the atrocities of Marcos era up until EDSA Revolution. Purely graphic. Hindi ko lang matandaan yung title ng book. Hardbound book with glossy pages. Parang sobrang mahal naman nun. Ito naman from Rev Verses. I was a working student at a university library dito sa Manila. Every time na magko-close kami around 8 p.m., may maririnig kaming footsteps kahit na kami na lang employees ang nandoon. at nasa isang lugar lang kaming lahat. As in, maririnig mong lumilibot kung sino o ano man yung naglalakad. One time, tinanong namin sa mga tiga-floor sa taas namin, galing ba sa kanila yon? Pero hindi naman daw. Nasanay na lang kami na ganon. Pero ang pinaka-hair-raising talaga is dalawa na lang kami ng workmate ko and nagsasara na kami ng computers. Then suddenly, may malakas na kalabog sa shelf sa bandang likod na section ng library. And naramdaman talaga namin na may masamang aura sa paligid. Kinikilabutan talaga kami at nagdadasal habang inaantay namin mag-shutdown ang mga computers at tuloy pa rin yung kalabog. Yung mahirap, no? Tapos ang bagal pang mag-shutdown. Na naman from Ross Gym. Noong nagtatrabaho pa ako sa call center, meron daw naririnig na nagtatype yung mga closer, last team to go home. Naiba shift ko at ako ang nag-handle ng team nila. Konti na lang kami sa floor noon, puro officers at naggagawa lahat ng reports. When suddenly, may narinig kaming nagtatype dun sa sinasabing area. Hindi naman ako natakot kasi alam ko na madami pang tao sa building. So tumayo ako to check. Yung mga keys sa keyboard gumagalaw, parang may nagtatype talaga. I went back to my station, turned off my computers, and went home. yung, yung lakas-lakas ng loob mo, no? Tapos pagtingin mo, pipindot ng kusa yung keyboard. Shocks! To from Rev versus, pati pala sa afterlife, kailangan pa rin sumweldo. Ito naman from Summerheim. Back in high school, our group was about to leave the school at 6 p.m. There were rumors that a certain classroom was haunted. As you know, we were a group so walang natatakot kasi madami naman kami. Plus, we had been in school that was past 6 p.m. and at once encountered something spooky. We simply laughed at the idea. Although, as we passed by, nagugulatan syempre. And when we got near the room, all of us saw a white figure in a pitch black room. Of course, we screamed and ran for our freaking lives. Madami pa to be honest, pero ain't got time for that. From Ross Gym, parang may narinig na akong story about dun sa third mo. Girl was alone waiting for her friend sa gym. Then she saw a boy peeping sa stairs. She called the kid, but the kid didn't respond. Then the kid disappeared. She soon learned na may namatay daw na bata sa gym na yon. Ito naman from Tiso Tokiki. Friday the 13th, nandito ako sa QC. 14th floor kasi yung building ko, pero diba 13th naman yun talaga. Iba na talaga pakiramdam ko ngayon, kaya naisip ko na baka magpahangin sa labas. Mga bandang alas 11 ng gabi na kanina, sobrang daming tao sa labas. Lalo na akong kinabahan. Unti-unting nabubuo yung pagkatakot ko. Umaambon pa man din at wala akong payong. Pero kailangan kong malaman kung bakit. Sinundan ko ang daloy ng tao, pero pagdating sa dulo, nag-iiba sila ng landas. Sinundan ko ang mas maraming tao. Napadpad ako sa tapat ng Araneta Coliseum. Doon ko napagtanto. Doble dekada concert ng AGs at ang mas nakakatakot, Friday the 13th at wala pa akong sweldo. Ano ba yan? Kala ko naman kung ano na. Ito naman from Dumplings in Distress. I don't know if dream siya or hindi, but when I was young, like mga 6 years old, nagigising ako na madaling araw and I have these toys na plastic dolls. And para silang natutunaw at gumagalaw. I am stunned, syempre, at pinagmamasdan ko na lang sila. I also once saw a devil on the mirror. Kulay red siya at maraming parang horns protruding from the face. Nakaside yun kaya hindi yun pwede na reflection ko. And I also have one of this doll na nagblink. And lumipat-lipat din ang pwesto every time na nagigising at natutulog ako. Again, I'm not sure if hallucinations kasi naalimpungatan ako or dahil mura pa lang ang isipan ko. But sobrang creepy talaga nun. Okay, so let's look at another thread naman from our Philippines from Hirohiro ng Visayas. Do you know any creepy urban legends from your area? I'd like to hear them. Haha, okay lang if it came from your lolo or lolas or neighbors. Ito from Deleted. When we were children, we were convinced to sleep during the afternoon and not wander off too far from home because of the manunupot. The manunupot is an old man roaming out and about with a huge sack hanging across his shoulder. The sack is for storing the children he collects to do whatever he may please, mainly mutilation and harvesting of internal organs, for fun and common devilish work, of course. Also, there's a pure white mansion that can be seen from our town. It's positioned along a shortcut road to Tagaytay, which nobody likes to take because of the infamous supernatural being trickery. The house has no neighboring houses, etc. It's said that the house belonged to a very rich mestizo family. They just disappeared. It's said that the family haunts the road in the area. But some say the whole place has some serious supernatural going ons, which is the reason why the family disappeared in the first place. From Buzz Edalrin? Sa amin yung manunupot daw, nagkikidnap ng mga bata para patayin at ihalo yung dugo ng bata sa foundation ng ginagawang building/tulay o kung ano pa mang structure. Mas matibay daw kasi pag ganon, tsaka wala na daw mamamatay na trabahador doon sa construction pag ginawa yun. From Iro Hero, I heard that the people behind San Juanico Bridge use that kind of ritual. From Deleted, the adults reasoned this to us too, but I was more scared with the fact of being mutilated while alive. Ito from Crabonis 013. Back when I was a kid, the small town I was living in suddenly panicked about the news that a serial killer was prowling our streets. We called her Maria Labo. Apparently, she was once a regular housewife that snapped because of poverty and marital problems. She butchered, cooked, and stuffed the heads of her two children in a refrigerator. When her husband found out, he struck her with a machete on the face and chased her off. She travels from town to town, kidnapping and eating young kids, mostly homeless kids. She walks around at night with a scar on her face and a bloody sack. When rumors circulated that she arrived in our town, the police upped their patrols, stores closed early, and schools requested us to stop playing after class and go straight home. There were even rumors that a number of kids did die mysteriously. After a few weeks, the panic died down and the woman seemingly left our small town. They never caught her. Oh, hindi ako aware sa ganitong urban legend, yung Maria Labo. She is from Naga City. Ito naman from 426763. Now that I'm like 20, my dad finally admitted this story was fake. Me, my brother, and my cousins believed it because we actually knew a victim. Back when I was like in third grade, I wasn't circumcised yet, hindi pa tuli. And to convince me and my cousins, my dad and uncles came up with this story about a pig demon that would eat your dick off if you didn't get circumcised before you got into high school. We were skeptical at first, but then my dad introduced us to Paco. Paco was a guy who worked in our farm and he had a missing organ, to say the least, and my dad told us that the pig demon ate his dick because Paco didn't get circumcised before he went to high school. That freaked my cousins so much that they got circumcised that afternoon. I, on the other hand, was more afraid of the circumcision more than the pig demon and withheld until I was in 5th grade. My dad admitted that it was fake, like when I was 18, and I was pissed and laughed it off for making a stupid story just to convince me to cut off my foreskin. But then, December 2, 2013, the local radio station reported about a recently graduated high school student found dead due to blood loss from having his dick removed. That was the longest me and my dad ever shared. Pero bilib ako sa sa creativity ng papa mong gumawa ng ganyang klase ng kwento. Galing, ang witty niya doon. Ito naman from Hello There Miss from Mindanao. The whole family was poisoned after drinking water taken from their well. The story was that after the rain, juices from the decaying bodies in the nearby cemetery seeped underground and made contact with the water supply. The, the family probably tasted something weird with the water, but did not make such a fuss with it. Probably just boiled it or something. This occurred somewhere in Masbate Island several decades ago. Shucks. So this is an actual story. So yeah, pag may nalasan ka na kakaiba, don't. Don't continue whatever you're doing. Don't drink it, don't eat it. It's really scary. And ito naman from Chris Sen of Cebu. Wawai scared the shit out of me when I was in elementary. His story had several versions, but in my place, it is said that Wawai was a criminal on the loose and is out to kill people. He marks his prey by spitting on his or her slippers at night. I used to hide my slippers every night before I slept. Another one was an old hag who would hitchhike on habal-habal drivers a la white lady. She would later disappear after a few minutes of riding. Habal-habal drivers got mad at her because she didn't pay the fare. Ito from Shudes of NCR. Husband and wife go out on a date night and decide to watch a movie in a mall in Alabang. They wanted to catch a movie that was almost at the end of its scheduled run. And if they didn't catch it that weekend, they probably wouldn't be able to watch it until its in DVD release. But he had to go on overtime and fight the weekend SLEX traffic. Then, because they were quite hungry, they ate dinner first before going to the movie. By this time, it was well past 10 p.m., and they had to rush to get in for the last full screening. Even so, they were 10 minutes late for the movie and were the last one seated. Because the movie was at the end of its run, the theater wasn't particularly full, even though the 15th salary day was just around the corner. But it wasn't quite empty either. They even whispered jokes to each other about not disturbing couples who might be getting busy with each other, so they kept a discreet distance from other moviegoers. The movie turned to be just okay, good enough to entertain, but ultimately forgettable. So as the credits rolled, they were the first to get up to go. She had to visit the ladies' room, so he waited patiently in the foyer area. It was odd that no one else was leaving the theater yet, but he thought nothing of it at the time. His thoughts were on the difficulty in catching a jeep or taxi home, as it was well past midnight. When she finally came out, they hurried out the doors where they found the janitorial cleanup crew waiting. One of the janitors bade them good evening and then made a passing remark on how brave the husband and wife were. This remark caught the wife off guard, so she asked, "Ano ibig mong sabihing matapang kami? Why do you say that? What do you mean that we were brave?" The janitor was puzzled because to him it was quite obvious. Kasi ma'am sir, gabing-gabi na at kayo lang dalawa yung nasa loob. Well, ma'am sir, it's just brave of you two to be watching that movie at this time of night with no one else around. Oh. So yeah, pati mga multo mahilig manood ng movies. Ito naman from Pull My Finger Again. When my wife was pregnant, she wouldn't go outside after dark without something on her head, a bonnet or hat or something. Because she said her family believe witches would hurt her baby if she didn't. I'm not sure if the headwear conceals her identity or protects her from spells. I didn't really ask. Ay nako. From Deleted, what about aswangs? Reply niya, that's what she says. And anytime she thinks she hears a strange noise, it's aswang. Whenever I ask her what it sounds like, she cannot describe it, but it's an aswang. Well, mas mabuti lang nag-iingat, di ba? Okay, ito naman is pang thread from our Ask Reddit. What is the scariest, creepiest folklore or legend from the area you live in? This is from Deleted. Tapos, sabi ni Sweet Ragnarok, Filipino here. There are islands in the Philippines that are called Monster and Witch Island, where inhabitants are demon-blooded, so to speak. You can tell one if your reflection in their eyes is upside down. There are precautionary tales of pregnant women should not meet them as unborn babies are the favorite food of said monsters, where the women will wake up in a pool of blood next morning, not before hearing a tick-tick sound. In reality, the tick-tick sound is what a local lizard sound makes. The folktale is to explain away why miscarriages happen. From Vegetable Doppel, I read that as TikTok sound first, as I thought of that stupid annoying oh no songbite that would definitely piss me off. From Charlie Vasquez. Here in Mexico, we have a ghost story wherever you go. Not any city, I guarantee you that every neighborhood has some kind of haunted house, building, or place. The creepiest I knew was La Niña del Parque Heroes, the girl from the Heroes Park, in Aguascalientes, Mexico. As the name implies, she is the ghost of a little girl who appears in the night. She just asks you if you want to play with her while holding her head with her two hands. OMG, no thank you, sabi ni Deleted. Sabi ni Tits Me Your PM. If I'm trying to be pragmatic in a supernatural type situation like that, I probably offer a hesitant yes to that question and silently pray the game doesn't involve using her head as a ball or something. Sabi naman ni Stoner Toaster, here in Quebec, Canada, we got the Wendigo. It's basically a human turned beast after some cannibalism, and now he stays in the forest with a never-ending hunger and keeps searching for lost human to kill them and eat them. From Cheeto Cyst, hindi ko alam basahin, Mosin, a demonic god, or sometimes called the Girl in Red, is a Taiwanese ghost slash monster slash spirit. There is no clear definition what it actually is. There are multiple different appearances of it. A short, small girl in red clothes, a tall and white-skinned woman with makeup. According to legends, it lives in mountains, is familiar with nature and the landscape. It likes pulling pranks on the weak, lures old people into mountains, feeding them with dirt, grass, cow poop, disguised as tasty meals. But it doesn't hurt them, so the victims are almost always found unharmed, with no clue what really happened. They are usually found the next day in some weird but obvious place that the search team wonder how they missed it the day before. There is one incident where an old lady was kidnapped. When she was found, she said the demon is gone. An old couple came and gave her food, tell her where to hide from rain, and kept chatting to comfort her, and left before the rescue team found her. This couple is said to be the local protecting spirit. Oh, and his wife protecting the old lady from being harmed. What's fascinating is these stories have been around for centuries and still happens today. Many even claimed to witness one. Oh, that's cool. Ito naman from Deleted. Indian here. It's the capital of India, New Delhi. There's been an urban legend for a particular borough of the city. It's called Delhi Cantonment Area. The urban legend goes like this. Once there was a mother with her child. She was once crossing the street at night and was unfortunately run over by a vehicle. Different versions have different vehicles. She was flung away from her child. She crawled to her bed, only to find out he passed away. She died before she could even reach him. It is said that her spirit haunts that area starting from 11 p.m. A friend told me a story that happened with his uncle there. His uncle was driving a scooter, like a moped, at night, going back home from work. He saw a lady who gestured for a lift. He stopped beside her and asked her. She told him that she needed lift till her neighborhood. He agreed since he just wanted to help a lady out in need. After some distance, she asked him to drop her. He wished her good night and went on his way. After some distance, he spotted another lady asking for a lift. That lady was also wearing a sari, traditional drape, but he couldn't recognize her face. She told him the same thing, and he helped another person. Again, he wished her good night and went on his way. While driving away, he had a cold shiver running down his spine. The realization was starting to dawn over him, but hadn't quite yet. After some distance, he saw a lady again asking for a lift, but this time he pretended not to see her and kept driving. He kinda increased his speed a bit to hurry home sooner. After some distance, something caught his peripheral vision. He turned his head on his side to see the same woman running parallel beside him. She was looking straight in his eyes with a huge grin on her face. He was so shell-shocked. He twisted his wrist and went full acceleration at around 100 kilometers per hour. After some moments, he went unconscious. When he woke up, it was around 5:30 a.m. or so. The sun was coming out, and there was a person who woke him up. He asked him if he was okay. The person told him that he found him laying on the footpath beside his scooter. He asked him whether he met with an accident or something. My friend's uncle looked around and bite mark wounds on his thigh and calves. He had bled, but it was dry now. The blood has clotted already. He found scratches on his helmet and some damage to the scooter. He never took that route at night. So yeah, that was kind of a crazy story, shucks. What kind of ghost is that? Hihingi ng tulong, tutulungan mo, tapos ganun. That's very, very creepy and scary, my gosh. So, next here is Little from Little Quest. Filipino here. This folklore just makes me scared to go out at night alone. The tikwi is a creature that makes sounds in the night. It rips its other half of its body at night and then fly to look for victims. It makes sound like tikwi. What makes this creature's victims think they are safe is that they make their sounds fainter and fainter to make it sound like they are far away from the creature, but it's the opposite. The farther away they sound, the closer they are to the victims. Hindi ba yun yung tik-tik? From Skeleton Monk. Now I have a reason to be scared going around at night. Also, is another name for the tikwi a manananggal or a swang demon? Sabi ni H2O Cracker, late answer, but tikwi or tik-tik, okay, tik-tik, the more popular version, is a bird that accompanies a manananggal that makes the sound. Ito naman from Finding Pony. In Camden County, South Jersey, there's a town called Atco that has had a ghost story known as the Atco Ghost. Legend has it that a boy was playing with a ball and the ball rolled into the street. The boy went to chase after the ball and a truck driver ran him over, killing him. They say if you go to the end of the same road at night, turn off your car engines and blink your headlights on and off 3 times, you'll see the spirit of the boy cross the road. I've personally never done it because when the legend got really popular in the early 2000s, police started watching the area. I've known people that have done it and claimed to have seen it and others that didn't. My sister did it with a group of her friends a few times and claimed to have seen it. Another group of friends of mine claimed they didn't see anything, but when they got out of their cars, they saw child's handprints on their car. Sabi ni deleted, oh, you should do it and let us know the results, lol. Ito naman from me and we 123. A couple of my favorites from places I've traveled to are La Llorona, crying woman of Mexican origin, who is a ghost of a woman who drowned her kids, and La Quintrala, Chilean legend. La Quintrala was told to me as being a witch mostly, but apparently was once known for her great beauty and cruelty. Chile also has an island called Chiloe, where apparently magical creatures abound and the duendes or elves are not very nice at all. Alright, I think that would be the last story for now. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and I'm going to read more stories soon, so stay tuned. Bye.